Good morning, folks. It is Thursday, May 15th, and I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I lost a day in that full moon insanity. This was a huge purge. It brought up a lot of emotions for people, a lot of fears for people. I saw tons of breakups happening with this full moon, a lot of people finding out about cheating and things like that. But it was rough, and there's been like kind of collective crash outs happening all over the place. Honestly, scrolling through social media has been a little bit helpful. It makes me feel a little less alone in everything that I'm feeling. So that's been at least consoling a little bit. Not nice by any means, but it's been a rough go. It's not really getting much better over the next few days. In fact, the rest of this week is going to be rough. This weekend's going to be rough. And we just need to work on continuing to do like these emotional purges and just getting ourselves to a better mind place, a clearer mind, a more grounded space, because things are heating up and we need to be in a better space when things begin to heat up a little more. So today, right now, the moon is still in Jupiter, or in Sagittarius. I did not sleep at all last night, by the way. I have no idea how I'm still awake. So the moon is still in Sagittarius, so it's still being ruled by Jupiter and Gemini. So things still feel like kind of all over the place, like wishy-washy type of energy. It will make a square to Saturn at the 29th degree of Pisces. This is an intense time. It's very emotional. It's very much testing our boundaries, our healing, our sobriety. I have fell off of that wagon 3 times over the last just over a month. But this is just a really hard time emotionally. So really make sure that you're continuing to do that work. This is like that little, it's not a final push because Saturn will retrograde and move back into Pisces this summer, or later this year. But it is definitely a little bit of a final push before things kind of heat up. So really make sure that you're keeping those boundaries strong. You are listening to your intuition. You're following your gut. You're allowing yourself to be a little more like divinely guided moving forward. Now the moon making this square to Saturn is just highlighting that things feel very heavy, kind of too much, and like not knowing which way to go here. So we've really got to make sure we're slowing our minds down and thinking things through. Around 2 o'clock this afternoon, the moon moves into Capricorn, where that Saturn starts taking control of our emotional state and our intuitive state. We've really got to make sure we're leaning on those boundaries. We're honoring the healing that we've been doing, and we're protecting ourselves in that way. There's going to be this temptation to kind of go cold and like try to not feel the feelings. Don't do that. Really make sure that you are leaning into feeling things, feeling what you need to feel, and processing all of that. The moon's going to make a square to Neptune, so things could feel very confusing and you may not know which way to turn. It's kind of easily manipulative type of energy there. You may be feeling like you want to fight for something when that happens as well. Just slow down. We're working through, we're processing, we're getting stuff cleared and purged out of our minds so that we can be in a better space moving forward. Now, the Supreme Court is supposed to be hearing arguments today on whether or not lower courts can issue nationwide injunctions. If they rule in Trump's favor, which I think they will, things are going to get even uglier out in the world. So really make sure that you're working on yourself to make sure that you're in a good headspace to be able to handle what is to come and what is likely to be the very near future. All right, let's pull you guys some cards. What is the energy for the collective today? We have a Knight of Cups. That's actually a little surprising, but not really, okay? Because the Venus at that very last stage of its retrograde period being in Aries, you might have some, let me run in and save the day kind of energy. Also, Saturn being at that 29th degree, that's going to be really testing some emotional boundaries. So you really might see some folks come running in, trying to make you feel better and things like that. So that energy is there. Everybody's going to want to take care of everyone. The question is going to be whether or not they're being honest about the reasons they're wanting to take care of everyone. What to focus on today? What does the collective need to focus on today? 7 of Swords. The Thief card. That shadiness, that like the sleight of hand kind of energy. The question is, What are the motivations behind people wanting to help, people wanting to be there for you type of thing. So really focus on that. What's going on under the scenes? What's not being shown? What kind of sleight of hand is going on here? This is also oftentimes shows up for me when we're talking like somebody stealing your mental peace as well. Just pay attention to the folks interacting with you. Are they really being upfront? Are they being honest? Or do they have ulterior motives? What to avoid today? What does the collective need to avoid today? Nothing. The Chariot. We're not taking any movements forward right now. We're really kind of in a little bit of a stagnant space at the moment. We're really just in an observant space. It's testing what we've made it through so far. And so don't try to take off with anything yet. Just slow down, be observant. Bottom of the deck is Lovers, so there is like this one-on-one interaction and communication that is in play here. Lovers isn't necessarily lovers. It can just be your one-on-one interactions with others. Clarifiers for the Knight of Cups, please. We have Justice. That has been coming up a lot lately, like a lot. And the King of Pentacles. Balancing the scales for that stability. And that really could be, I want to be clear when I say this, when people come in offering help, offering to be there for you, they may not intentionally be being shady. They may actually have, think they have good intentions, but their head isn't in a good enough place to be there with good intentions. Just keep that in mind. There is this, like, we're trying to find our balance. We're trying to find a space where we're grounded and we're comfortable because things feel so all over the place. This weekend's going to be wild. And I think a lot of people are feeling that build up with that Sun-Uranus conjunction building and everything that's happened with this full moon. People are just looking for a safe place. They're looking for balance. So they're like reaching out to other people. Clarifiers for the Seven of Swords. We have a King of Cups. This feels very relationshipy today. I didn't think it would, to be honest with you. But it is a very emotional energy, so that makes sense. And the Page of Cups. So we're focusing on that shadiness, that sleight of hand, that things being off, feeling kind of mentally unstable. We have King of Cups and Page of Cups. This is like people coming in, offering like that cup of emotional help, of emotional fulfillment, being that like stable space for you. But they're still just not everything is clear. Not everything is as it seems. So be careful with that. Look at that Five of Cups on the bottom. That regret that might be showing up for some people right now. Saturn's going to be kicking a whole lot of people's butts over this next like week or so. Sitting there at that 29th degree. So karma's going to be karma-ing. Clarifiers for the Chariots. Clarifiers for the Chariot, please. We have a Page of Swords and a Seven of Pentacles. So she's right back there on the bottom. So there's still that regret, that thinking about the past and things like that. So we're not moving forward. We're avoiding this, right? You may have someone come in and tell you something, give you some information and be like, hey, I want to kind of fix things. I want to make something work. Can we make something grow type of energy? Be cautious. Make sure those boundaries are strong. Again, those emotional and intuitive boundaries are going to be tested. So make sure that you're listening to them. Take care of yourself and make sure you're getting your own head into a good place for what's to come.